Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is right around the corner, and I wanted to do a little pre-game report, so here we go. One thing we can say about MCU Phase 4 is that it hasn't exactly set the box office on fire through its previous 3 entries. But since you can't keep a good movie studio down, and movies that make $1 billion are all the rage in Hollywood these days, we're getting Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness coming up this week, and I have a feeling the former Sorcerer Supreme might find himself staring down the barrel of a very tall, difficult climb coming up at the box office. Now, I'm not going to go on the record just yet and say that moviegoers across the board are experiencing superhero fatigue, but I think the decreasing returns on the Phase 4 films that I just highlighted, and a general lack of hype around some of the Disney Plus shows, from WandaVision right on through Hawkeye and Moon Knight ongoing, I think maybe Marvel has seen its best days. And I think it's going to take a pretty Herculean effort from Doctor Strange on Thursday to right the ship if it's at all possible, and I'm not sure it can. The movie already has a couple of things working against it right from jump, and that's before it even gets to be shown to general audiences. It's already been banned in a few high-profile countries for LGBTQ plus content. I guess it was a 12-second bit about America Chavez's potential orientation being mentioned in the film. So we got your usual list of suspect countries where they're not going to air the movie at all. Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Kuwait, and Qatar. I think they combined for about $1.5 million in box office returns, so no one's probably going to miss that. But notably, China is on the list again, and this makes some 3 or 4 consecutive films that I think they haven't shown over there in the Far East. That's going to hit Disney in the pocketbook, but I got to give them at least some credit if they're finally going to stand up and leave the content in the movie how they want it and not cater to foreign audiences by removing certain aspects from the film or minimizing certain POC characters on movie posters and other promotional materials. Good on them. I think one of the main things working against Doctor Strange in this particular tale is that the focus for the Marvel movies seems to all be team-up flicks now. You're not going to get any more solo entries from here on out. I think there's always going to be a crossover as they think they need to just throw everything at the screen and hope something sticks. And it doesn't hurt them that Spider-Man No Way Home was so successful in that regard. But I'm not sure that's needed here with the Doctor Strange and other Marvel characters. This was an opportunity to bring a bunch of other characters in that they hadn't introduced since Disney's acquisition of Fox Studios and other properties. But I'm not sure that a 2-hour, 6-minute runtime is going to give anybody enough space to get anything really building in terms of momentum for characters that people have been waiting on seeing. I'm talking, of course, about things like X-Men and Fantastic Four and other more. But it looks like they're bringing in a bunch in the way of cameos. We've heard a ton of stuff about reshoots that only came to light after the success of No Way Home. So they're probably throwing everything but the kitchen sink at this movie. Who knows? Maybe they'll even throw that in there too. Notably though, it looks like they're adding in America Chavez. That's an interesting choice to throw in here in a movie like this. This is exactly the kind of movie I guess I'd put her in, being that it is a multiverse kind of flick, given the nature of her power set. There's no way on earth she can carry a movie on her own, so I didn't think that she'd be a Phase 5 title or anything like that, and she's probably more suited to a Disney Plus show. But it's interesting that they're bringing her in at all, considering her run in print. It's not a very successful character. There's a small dedicated base of people that buy the comic, I'm sure, but overall the title's been canceled at least 4 or 5 times that I'm aware of, and I'm not sure that bringing her in here really accomplishes anything that they couldn't have done with the cast of characters as it existed already. My other concern going into this one is the nature of the multiverse concept in general. Too many times in fiction, be it comics, movies, games, TV, whatever, the multiverse is usually the last kind of gimmick that writers come up with when they've run out of other original ideas to do. They figure we can get a couple of crossovers going through the multiverse, we can see alternate versions of characters we like, so we can see, Doctor Strange evil version, we can see Tom Cruise standing in as Iron Man with that whole rumored bit running the internet, 20 years ago. But typically, the fundamental problem with the multiverse concept is that it just minimizes stakes for everybody involved in the film. Like, there really is no threat of death lingering anywhere for any of the characters when you have a multiverse situation. And the MCU has already gone to this plot device once already. We have already seen the impact of what happens when a character dies and doesn't stay dead. And I'm talking, of course, about Gamora from Infinity War and then again in Endgame. We're going to see more of that coming up with Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and probably in Thor Love and Thunder in a couple of months, where Star-Lord's character is going to have to deal with the Gamora that now exists in his world isn't the one that fell in love with him, and he's going to have to deal with the ramifications of that. So I don't really think we needed to see another movie in the same phase where Doctor Strange is going to get a chance to meet up with alternate versions of characters like Gamora or Black Widow, probably the two characters that carry the most emotional weight with them. I don't really care to see alternate versions of alternate costumes in a flick like this at this point in time in Phase 4. What I need are other original stories that have high stakes, that generate narrative tension, but it's not all bad news. I'm hearing that the Living Tribunal, one of my favorite cosmic entities in the Marvel Universe, is supposed to make an appearance in the film at some point. Apparently he was supposed to be in Infinity War. He was going to pass judgment on Thanos for the blip, but they held the character out, going to reuse him here. And of course, for the normies in the group, the Living Tribunal was first encountered by Stephen Strange in Strange Tales number 157 back in June of 1967. So it'll be cool to see a cosmic entity on display here. And the other bright spot, of course, is the main's primary villain. A lot of people are thinking it's Wanda going to turn heel in this one. But, you know, everything we see in the trailers kind of lays it out, I think, pretty straightforward. I think we're getting Baron Mordo back here along with the Illuminati. He basically announces Stephen Strange, while he's in custody, into the Illuminati's presence anyway. I'm going to take that at face value that it is what it is. The Illuminati, of course, is a high-level, high-intelligence group of superheroes dating way back in the Marvel Universe. Where that's going to get kind of interesting is that the original roster for that team no longer exists in the MCU as we know it. Iron Man's obviously gone. Black Panther's gone. We've never gotten Namor in anything other than name, no pun intended, in this particular universe. We don't have Black Bolt. And I think hopefully we get the Patrick Stewart cameo as Professor X and he can fill in one of those roles. So the movie does have at least that going for it. That's not too shabby. That's going to do it for me, boys and girls. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Does Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness stand a chance at recapturing Spider-Man No Way Home's financial glory at the box office? Or are we looking at just another disappointing throw through the Marvel Phase 4 lineup? I'll get out this weekend, hopefully I'll take a look at it, and I'll get back to you with the full review. But until then, this has been Winterwolf, and I'll catch you in the next one.